Today's goal, today's goal is to power up your communication skills, to be able to, if you're newer to the game, add immense value on how you guys can connect with more people, set more appointments, and close more deals, period. If you're an old timer like Rick Stein, then this will be some stuff that you already know. But if Rick, as Rick knows, you are who you surround yourself with. So I'm sure there's a few things to polish up here, or to pull out of the closet, or maybe even to add to your arsenal of excellent communication and skills that I know Rick already has.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. I know, because you're a growth mindset oriented person. And that's important to be able to make sure that you continue to grow. And look, everybody wants to work smarter, not harder. False or true? Raise your hand. Give me an emoji. Flash your screen on and off for the picture with your clothes on. Okay. I want to see anything I shouldn't see, which is maybe why some of the screens are off. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 3 specific tools to use. Specific. The R.A.M method, the think feel method, and the DISC profile. Okay. The DISC profile. All right. And these 3 specific tools are going to be tools for you guys to use to power up your game and to connect with more people, to close more deals. So why is this important? Because what we do is hard. Talking to people and getting information out of them, being able to get them across the finish line. It's a labor-intensive process, right? It's not like selling a product where you can strike the deal and then swipe the credit card. This is a process, and because it's a process around people's most people's most valuable asset, property, right? It's a little bit more emotional. Even with investors, and I know everybody says investors are not as emotional, and they're not, but man, they sure get emotional when it comes to money. So look, it's a process. And so because we're people and we're not a process, right? It's complicated. It's easy what we do. Talk to a lot of people about real estate. Talk to more people. Look, you're going to make more money if you talk to more people, period. End of story, game over. All right. That's simple. It's just not easy. It's not easy for how do we do that? And what does that look like? And what does that sound like? Okay, so look, I'm going to move fast because I want to talk about theory and some of the things that I think are important to do, but I also would like this to be interactive. So for those who have the cojones, all right, the guts to be able to play, we're gonna role play a little bit, right? And because honestly, everybody says that, right? I'm better interactive. I'm better hands-on. I'm better with just, learning as I go. Okay, cool. We're going to do that right now. We're going to learn as you go. And I'm going to put you on the spot because here's the deal. Mistakes here don't cost you anything. Mistakes out in the real world cost you money when you jack up your conversation, or you're one-track minded in regards to what you think and what you feel, and you're not focused on what they think and what they feel, because that's what's really important. Those conversations can cost you tens of thousands of dollars or more sometimes. Okay, before I jump in quickly, Tamara Morris, Heidi Ho, okay, Olga Yentin, Madge Britt Reyes. I hope I'm saying these names right. I'm ethnic, so I think I got a pretty good shot at pronunciation here. Okay. All right. Your challenges. I don't need to see your face, but your challenges when communicating, contacting, or connecting, right? Quickly, a few people to volunteer what specific challenges you have with objections, the type of people, specifically communication-oriented challenges that you have connecting, converting people in the conversation. Give it to me right now. One, somebody, step up.
For me, I go to the deal too fast. I kind of skip over getting to know them.
Okay, so it's get right to the numbers, get right to the deal. Okay, yep. That's good. I like that. Thank you, Robert. I get to the deal too fast. Okay.
I am introvert.
For me, it's hard to talk to come and talk to anyone.
An introvert. Okay. So it's harder for me to connect and contact and talk to people. Is that what you're saying, Olga?
Yes, it's hard for me to just start the conversation, I guess.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I love that. We're going to talk about that. What else? What else you got? Stuff, challenges, communication oriented. Go ahead. Who is that?
It's Velma. And I was going to start with what Olga just finished with. It's how to start the conversation.
Okay, how to start the conversation. I like it. Okay. How to start the conversation. What else we got? No challenge too small. No challenge too small. What do you got? One more.
Come on, James. I saw you unmute for a second.
So I think when talking to a broker, not direct to seller, right? But when they're kind of just feeding you shit, if you will, they're saying there's 5 other offers, right? How do you call them on that without calling them a liar, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Vetting information, vetting questionable information.
Yeah.
Right, James?
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Because there's other things people say, sellers say, or any that I'm like, is that true? Or what else is going on here?
Yeah.
Okay. Vetting questionable information. That was good. See, aren't you glad that you said that, James? That was so valuable. That was so good. Okay, good. Vetting questionable information. Okay. I'm going to go fast because I want to get to the role play stuff. So I'm going to give you guys a visual, and a lot of this is in the playbook. Okay. But I want you guys to see also what I'm looking at. Now, this portion of the playbook, carrying conversation, is integral because some of this, and I'll get to it in a minute, Olga, is rooted in who we are, right? Because first and foremost, our mindset around what we do, everything begins and ends with mindset. And I talked about this on the last session. The last mastermind session that I did is how important mindset is, because before I jump into this, like, ask yourself, and maybe this is an exercise actually that I've done, and every morning I listen to a recording. Who am I? Because I have affirmations up in my station, and I can't turn the camera around to show you guys, as far as reminding myself who I am. Because even though I've made probably hundreds of thousands of phone calls at this point, okay, because I've been doing business 20 years, guys. I've sold hundreds of thousands of homes. Hundreds of homes. I wish hundreds of thousands of homes. I've sold hundreds of homes. Right, is to remember who I am when I am engaged with what I'm doing, Olga, because we can get caught up with like what's going on with life, the grind of trying to get this thing off the ground, drama at home, drama in real estate transactions. And so, look, making sure that I'm rooted in who I am. Right. And if you ask yourself that question, like, who am I? Look, I'm a powerful communicator. I always ask great questions. I bring value to every call, big or small. But my mindset is strong all day long. Like, these are affirmations ingrained in my brain that we actually in Power Hour in the machine every morning, we're role playing, and then we're doing some affirmations, and it's like, okay, let's go, baby. Because once that phone starts ringing, look, it's go time. You don't know which call is going to be worth $1 million. I mean, legit, right? Like, any call you make could be worth 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. And so if these multi-million-dollar players are getting warmed up for the game before they get in the game, like, why am I not doing that? What's going on? You're too cool? Like, you don't want to feel stupid? Like, you have the ability to make more than a professional athlete. What's the minimum in the NBA? Like 250, 300 or something like that? I don't know. Somebody knows. James knows. I think he knows. Professional athletes' minimum wages are a few $100,000. So that's a good living. Okay. You have the ability to make more than that. So what do I need to do in the morning? What's my pre-prospecting routine? Or what do I do as far as mindset to be able to get in the game and get ready? Okay. I got to get going. Maybe we should do an hour and a half for these, because an hour is tight. All right. So look, here's your job. Ask great questions, ask them well, listen carefully. Ask great questions, ask them well, and then listen carefully. Now, asking great questions is the foundation of selling. So what are your questions? Because some of you guys, you need better questions because your questions suck. How do I know? Because you're not making the money you want to make. So what are better questions? Look, write them down as you're going, man. Some of these questions get better responses. Some of these questions you're asking are not getting responses or not getting as good responses. There's plenty of scripts that we use, a lot of them in the playbook, some of them not. And if you guys email me a request, I'll send you our qualifier, our commercial script, and I'll email you those two, or NOO. I'll send you the NOO script too. The qualifier script is basically what we use for all deals, traditional or non-traditional. They're going to be listed or they're an off-market deal. It's residential or commercial to like vet the prospect to figure out like what's going on. How do I dig out more information? Okay. The qualifier. I'll send you guys just that because that's a lot right there. The qualifier. Okay. I'll send you guys the qualifier, and there's some smoking questions there for you to figure out what's going on and dig deeper into motivation, because it's all about motivation. All right. Practice is the game changer. How are you practicing? Really, seriously, who practices? It's a rhetorical question because I'm not going to embarrass. Who really practices? Robert's doing this, or he's rolling his eyes, or something's going on over there, or he's having a seizure. What's going on, Robert?
No, I'm not having a seizure. I'm saying that nobody practices, including myself.
Look, we know, Robert, I think you got a team or you have a brokerage, or
I got
right?
a brokerage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even within the confines of my own little team on what I want to do production wise, Robert, for sometimes I was co-owner of a brokerage in Vegas, but I still had business going, is like, I'd find time to role play, common objections or common things that came up, or, hey, what difficult conversations have you guys had recently? And then I just asked that question. And then I would use that as a lead in to just, all right, let's do some role play now. Like, let's role play. You're the person, I'm the other person. And let's jump into that, and using that as a lesson to help my people, because it's all about, we make money by what we say. How often do we say it? And how good do we say it, right? And so if everybody else practices in some way to be better, like, what do I need to practice in regards to, I make money by what I say, like, what do I need to practice? Because it's not happening. I'm getting stuck here. I'm having these objections there. I'm stuck. I'm very uncomfortable with this conversation. Like, where do you need to practice? And look, it's not going to be easy to find people to role play with, because people don't do this. It's part of the reason why so many people fail out of real estate so quickly, whether it's a wholesaler or it's a traditional real estate agent, is that they're just not practicing. Okay. Ask great questions. Ask them well. Look, what's your energy like? I'm going to give you guys a quick couple tips. When you're on the phone, you sound like not good, because look, James, your energy level is normal. So I call James, ring, ring. Go ahead, James, pick up the phone.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, James, this is Paul. I'm over at TRE Properties. I was just wondering what your plans were to consider selling this home. Break script, okay? That's how most of you guys are making the phone call. Now, look, your voice has to go into that mic, out into outer space, across several hundred miles. Geez, I'm really emphasizing things today. All right, so and then into their little ear hole. Okay. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen, but what percentage of communications, body language? 55%. Okay. So most of your communications actually body language, and now you're just only using your voice. Okay. And so most of your communication is already being hindered. So when you talk normal, talking normal sounds boring and pathetic. All right. So you're going to have to step up your energy and use something that I call sound slaps, where you're hitting certain words more emphatically and with more energy. So what were your plans to sell this home, James, in the next 90 days? If you had an offer in the next 90 days and it made sense, would you consider it, right? So if you had an offer in the next 90 days, would you consider it? Now, look, this isn't a hypnosis trick, right? But all the inches count when you talk to people. And so speaking with energy is extremely important. Hey, check yourself, because I know if you've been around the block like Robert and Rick, man, we can get caught up into these processed pieces of our business that is just, we're just running through the motions. Robert said, man, I'm getting to the deal too fast. Do you ever feel like maybe you've missed out on the opportunity to connect, and you're not sure why? Or maybe you do know why, Robert, right? And then you're like, man, the connection wasn't there, or I wasn't able to get more information out of the conversation because the connection wasn't there. You ever feel like that, Robert? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I recognize that. So I'm trying to do a better job of engaging more, asking a lot more of the questions before I ever get to like, what is it going to take to get this property sold?
Right. Look, we were created for relationships. So at the end of the day, our ability to connect with people, the deal's almost even secondary, right? It's part of the reason why you see Alex and Matt do this so well, is their ability to just connect with people. And look, I don't know how well you guys know Matt and Alex, but they're two different sides of the spectrum that we'll actually take a look at in a minute on personality styles, where Alex has to be a little bit more intentional with it. Matt's a little bit more natural with it on being intentional in the conversation to be able to connect with people and help them feel more comfortable to be able to respond. Because I come at somebody and I'm swinging the hammer on the deal, Rob, then look, if they're a certain personality type, that may feel very uncomfortable and very threatening to them. And so they're not going to give as much information. They're not going to be as cooperative in the conversation. And now, look, I'm losing out on deals because I'm being me. Now, look, I ain't saying you don't have to be you, but certainly you need to recognize a little bit of the energy and the personality type that we'll get to of a different person to be able to connect in a different way. All right, connect with more energy, create familiarity. Some people have this problem as far as being too professional. Now, I'm not saying you need to be so loose, but I tell the guys on the team is like, look, beers and barbecue, man, beers and barbecue. Pretend like you're sitting in somebody's backyard having a beer and the barbecue's on. And I go, hey, James, what's going on? Now I got to be careful. I'm not going to be too loose, but within 60 to 120 seconds, you can hear somebody's tone as far as them being more casual or more professional. And then you're going to, you'll make an adjustment to mirror them. There's a pro tip for you, mirroring somebody, because look, I'll go off on a tangent just for a second on a pro tip. Mirroring people is important, because if somebody talks fast, like I'm doing right now for the purpose of this training, and okay, I'm from New York and I talk fast, right? Or they're talking slower, then if you're talking fast and they talk slow, then what do people who talk fast think about people who talk slow? Tell me.
They're slow, that they're dumb.
That they're dumb. And that's not true, man. Right? But if people are slow talkers and they see somebody talking fast, then what do they think, Rob? What do they think?
I feel like sometimes if somebody's talking fast, they could be nervous. Just,
Could be nervous. So that's certainly not a good. If I'm talking fast and I'm the prospector and I'm talking to somebody who I'm prospecting, and the prospecting person, the prospectee feels like the prospector is nervous. Do people follow people who are not confident? You need a high level of confidence, because familiarity is some of that confidence. Like, hey, I'm comfortable talking to whoever. We see this every day in politics and in religion. People who are super confident, people follow those people regardless. And so familiarity is actually a piece of being confident and making sure that I display that persona. Okay, here we go. First tool: repeat, approve, move. I don't think we did this on the last one. Let's try to play this game. This is a lot easier done in person, but we're going to do it here. Okay, so the R.A.M method literally could be the single most important tool for you to be able to connect with more people. Chris Voss wrote a book, FBI negotiator. I can't remember the name.
Never split the difference.
Never split the difference, right? I have never read the book. Somebody came up to me and said, have you read that book? No, this is the book in 10 seconds. Repeat, approve, move. Not really, but it's a big piece of the book, right? Your ability to repeat what people say, approve it in some way, and then move on. Now, look, repeating. Let's go through this quick, and then let's role play with it a little bit, okay? Because people need to feel heard. They need to feel heard. We don't even get that in our own relationships, right? Like, you ever feel like your spouse or your significant other is not listening to you? Yeah, like all the time, right? Say me. So when you repeat either verbatim or in summary, then you're clearly and distinctly and immediately demonstrating that, hey man, I'm listening to you. and what you say is important. And I'm going to demonstrate that it's important to me what you're saying. And I'm going to make sure that you know that I'm listening by repeating what you're saying. Okay. So it's verbatim or it's a summary. All right. Now approving. Good, great, fantastic, wonderful. Not everything is good, great, fantastic, or wonderful, right? Hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything right now because my wife just died. Oh, your wife just died. Fantastic. No, doesn't work, right? So then what do? You appreciate. Appreciation could be, I understand, I respect that. I might feel the same way if I were you. And so the approval, you acknowledge and then you appreciate. So the approval is good, great, fantastic, wonderful. Or the acknowledgement is, I respect that. I understand. I appreciate that. I might feel the same way if I were you. Okay. But there needs to be some sort of alignment. That's what approving or acknowledging is all about, is alignment. Robert, I need alignment. They're telling me shit and I need alignment with where they're at. Okay. And then the appreciation is it's the empathetic response. Okay. So somebody unmute right now and give me an objection. Any objection?
The seller will not sell under 3 million.
The seller won't sell under 3 million. Whew, man, I can certainly appreciate that, Timberly. I mean, certainly I would feel the same way as them. I mean, it sounds like they want to get the most money possible out of the transaction. And let me ask you a question. If there was a cash offer at 2.75, would they consider it? Break script. Okay. So it's repeat, approve, and then move. Move is the question. But here's the trick. The better you get at this one tool, this whole call could be over right now. And if you just get this one tool, I'm telling you right now, your initial conversations are going to change. Your negotiation power is going to upgrade. Your ability to close more deals will get better. I promise you. If you take this one tool seriously, because people want to feel heard. They want to feel respected and accepted. Let's keep it with A's. Accepted. Number one human need. Anybody know what it is? Yeah. Go ahead, Andy. You said it. Acceptance, approval. Yep. Now that on an intimate level, that's love, right? On a professional level, it's acceptance and understanding and respect, right? They want approval. So Timberly, your ability to approve people and acknowledge them, but then doing it in an empathetic fashion. Now, when we role play this, let's do it right now. The trigger word to appreciate is because. Okay, so it sounds like this. James, give me an objection.
My seller will not entertain seller financing.
Your seller won't entertain seller financing. I totally understand that because seller financing can be a little confusing. So is it more so they had a bad experience or they just need to know more about it? Break script. Not considering seller financing. I appreciate that because seller financing can be scary. Seller financing may not be the best option. Seller financing. Why are you saying good, great, fantastic, wonderful? Why are you saying I respect, I understand, I appreciate? Empathize with them. I'm telling you guys right now, this makes you go from prospector executor to curious person seeking to understand and help. Because if you don't take anything else away, take this one. Here's a nugget for you right now. People don't hear what you say. People hear how you feel. And if you're just trying to execute, Robert's saying, man, I'm getting to the deal too fast. You know what Robert was really saying? I'm not empathetic enough and I don't listen enough. I don't see him on the call anymore because I can't see on the view that I'm at. Oh, there he is. Okay. Robert, false or true?
It's true. That's the message they hear, is that I don't really care about them. I just want to know if I can get this or not.
Yeah. Now we're talking about, I just blew the opportunity for a $25,000 paycheck, $30,000 paycheck, $100,000 paycheck. You talk to some of these country folk, man, you better look. I know I'm New York, man. I got to switch gears hardcore and go into man, I'm right there with you. I hear you. I understand. I approve. I acknowledge. I appreciate. So So repeat, approve, or acknowledge, right? Good, great, fantastic, wonderful. I respect that. I understand. I appreciate. And then the appreciation is the empathetic response. One more time, and then we'll go round robin and have a few of you guys do it. And if you're gonna play, then keep your screen on. If you're not, then don't keep your screen on. I think I can do that here. Yep. Okay. So one more objection. Give me an objection, Rick.
I've spoken, I get 100 calls. I get all of these things. You want to sell your house. We buy houses. I'm inundated with them. I think you're all full of stuff.
Oh, man. Rick, I hear you, man. I have to deal with these people every day. So what I hear you saying is that you have a lot of these people that are saying that they can help. And yet, most of them or all of them have been full of it. And look, I appreciate that, man. I mean, this business is full because this business is full of people that don't do what they say they're going to do. And so I know exactly what that's like. I have to deal with that every day. And let me ask you a question, Rick. I mean, if you had an offer and it made sense, you'd still at least consider it, correct? Break script.
Sure, if it made sense and I trusted the person that was making it, I would certainly consider it, yes.
Okay, so repeat, approve, and then trigger word because, hold on, I think I might have this on. No, I don't have it here. I'm not going to open it up. Okay, so here it is right here. Repeat, approve, trigger because, and then move to the next question. All right, let's play for a little bit. Because you learn as you go. This will help you on getting comfortable with repeating and then approving, acknowledging, appreciating with trigger word because, and then move to a question. I think that was simple enough. All right, let's roll. Timberly, you ready? All right, keep your camera on if you're going to play. If you're not going to play, turn your camera off. Okay, Timberly, I don't know. I'm just not sure it's a good time to move right now because of the market.
Yeah, you're not sure, where the market's going. So, you're might be a little nervous of what the future has to hold, but I'm here to help you because I understand the market is also a little tricky right now too.
There you go. Now just ask a question.
Can you ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any question. Doesn't really matter. We're just executing here.
Okay. But would you like me to walk you through how we could strategize selling your house?
Okay, there we go. All right. So let's do it one more time. Repeat, approve, and then because is the trigger word to appreciate. Oh, you're not going to do anything right now, Timberly? Hey, I totally understand that because there's a lot of people feeling the same way you are. So if you could get an offer that made sense, you'd consider it, right? That was pretty simple. The way that I just did it. Repeat it, approve it, appreciate it with because, and then move. All right, let's do it one more time, Timberly.
Okay.
All right, look, Timberly, I don't know. It might not be a good time to sell my home.
Yeah, I understand. It may not be a good time for you to sell your home because we don't know where the market's going or what the future could look like for you in selling your home. But would you like to discuss options on, what a good offer could be like for you to be able to walk away?
Yeah, almost. You almost did it. You're so amiable, you can't stand yourself. Right? Like, because here's how I know you're amiable. Amiables always do the same exact thing you've done for 10 years. I've been doing this. You always approve first because you're so concerned about being amiable that you have to be amiable first. Then you'll try to repeat, but you jack it up. Okay. So look, not wrong, Timberly, not wrong. The reason why it's important in the drill is to understand that, look, I want people to feel heard. So I'm going to repeat first. And then I can get into, look, the good, great, fantastic. I appreciate it. I understand. And then and then I explain it. And then I can move on to whatever question I want. Now, look, guys, if you're doing this in real life, it is magic from people having resistance because you're salesperson stranger to alignment, feeling that they feel heard and understood and respected. Now, look, some of you guys do this naturally already. Like you just do that because you're so expressive, because you're a feelsy. It all comes from the heart, right? But us D's and C's, probably Robert, because he says I get to the deal too fast. Maybe not Rick, because Rick, I think now I'm thinking Rick's probably expressive, right? Like Rick's a talker probably. He likes to, I can tell personalities and just, all you gotta do is open your mouth and say 3 or 4 words and I can tell your personality type. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. But regardless of the person, I want them to feel, even if they're not a feelsy, even if they might be a thinksy, right? They're more logic oriented, because some people are more logic oriented. Some people are more emotion oriented. Okay. And I got to recognize that, because we'll get to that in a second on personality types. If I'm just only coming from logic and their emotion, then I'm going to be screwed, or vice versa. But it doesn't matter who they are. I want them to feel more comfortable that they're just not a number, that I'm just not executing and processing, that this is about people. And some of you old timers know the zig: help enough people get what they want and you'll get everything in life that you want. Okay. But how do they feel that? I'm giving you the scientific breakdown on how all this happens. This is it. This is it right here. This is the breakdown. I'm like, oh, some people are just better at talking. No, yes, both, right? Yeah. Yes, that may be true. And here's how it goes down, because I'm not that way. I'm just like Robert. I'm like, hurry up, man. Let's get to it. I kick ass. Let's get it done. And I've lost a lot of business like that, because I was being to me, and I wasn't appreciating and respecting other people's position on their personality type. All right, let's go to that quickly. All right, so personality types. So repeat, approve, move. I promise you guys, I promise. You role play a repeat, approve, move. That is going to change your freaking game on setting appointments, and even more so when you're negotiating. Big tool for negotiating. Humongous tool for negotiating. Next time you hear Alex and Matt on the phone, like, look, hear it. They do it. And they didn't even realize that they were doing it until we looked at it. I'm like, man, you guys are doing some really cool things, and they didn't even realize it. Okay. DISC behavior styles. Okay. Who's familiar with DISC? Hands up. Okay. Now look, I'll move through this quickly, because we'll have some fun on understanding how to be strategic in a role play to use in real life conversations for you guys to utilize the DISC quadrant. Okay. D's, they're drivers, they're alphas, right? Like, let's get to it. I'm in charge. Bottom line results. Their fears are losing control and wasting time. Self-assured, direct and forceful. Time sensitive are the behavior highlights. This better be good. You better be great. Time sensitive is a big one, right? Us D's, like, man, come on, let's go. And they're logic oriented. So they're a thinksy, right? They're thinksers, right? They think questions, and they're fast and aggressive. Okay. Who's a D? Raise your hand. Rick, I don't know about that. We'll see.
I am. Yes, my wife.
Okay. Now, a lot of people who are not Ds have problems with Ds because they get intimidated with Ds, especially S's. I'll get to them in a second. Okay. So this is important, because whether you're prospecting or you're negotiating or you have a client, like, understanding and appreciating the different personality styles and being able to utilize language that puts you into alignment and gets respect could actually make or break a deal. Okay. So high I's. Let's go high I's. Now look, high I's, they're fast and aggressive too, but look at their people orientation. They're emotion driven. Okay. So they're heart driven, right? And it's about flattery and positivity. You know how you can tell a high I? Just look at their clothes. Telling you, right? Got more color, more design. You see somebody who's got a ton of design, almost to the point where you're like, holy crap. That's a high I. If you're like, wow, that looks gorgeous, you're an I. Okay. So that's an easy way to understand identifying an I. Okay. Fears, rejection, behavioral highlights, animated and expressive, charming and persuasive, emotional ups and downs. They're all over the place with their emotions, and their thinking is, who else is doing it? Will it be fun? Who's an I? High I's. Say me. Madge, Britt. Okay. Velma, you and I think Velma's an I.
I think I may be an I. I don't remember.
What color shirt are you wearing today, Velma?
Oh, I have my real
entrepreneur shirt
on right
okay.
now.
All right. Well, jury's out still then. Okay. So high
yeah,
I's.
so it's black.
High I's are fast and aggressive, but they're people oriented, right? So, you're going to be a little bit different in the type of words that you use, and we'll get to that in a second to be able to connect with them. All right, so let's just go around the horn here. Steady relators. These are amiables. You know who these people are? They say yes, 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 and then they get off the phone and you never hear from them again. Why? Why? They don't want to dump you. Like they feel really bad about like letting you down. You know what a D says to letting you down, Robert? What does a D say when they let you down?
It's your fault. Get away.
Yeah, fine. Just take a hike, man. Go kick rocks. Yeah. You know what the D says to the S? Hey, I'll let him down for you. Go ahead. Come here. Give me. This happened the other day. Yesterday. Something with my wife. My wife's like, so-and-so with my family. I go, give me the phone. I'll call. She's like, no, you're not going to call him. I'm like, oh, I'll be the bad guy. It's fine. Okay. So the S's, they're steady relators. They're the tribals. They want everybody to get along. They like supportive behavior. Their fears though are change. And so look, they're also emotion driven like the high I's, but they're steady and cautious. So they're slow. They're not going to move fast. It's going to be a little bit slower because they're look, careful, calm and patient, slow and steady. This sounds like a wonderful experience, but I'm scared. I'm nervous about it. I'm not quite sure. And so because they're a feelsy, you're going to use different words and maybe a different tone and maybe a different speed to the conversation, right? For the steady relators, I call them the amiables. These are the amiables. All right, C's, and then we're going to get to some practical tools that can work for you guys. C's are the analytics, all right? Accuracy and specifics, fears are conflict and criticism. Behavioral highlights are conservative and serious, analytic and observant, questioning with high standards. And their thinking is, I need more information. This can't be right. Who's a high C? Nope, can't see anybody else. Okay. Steady and cautious, just like
This could be me.
This could be you. Steady and cautious. So they're a little slower. They're not fast and aggressive, but look, they're logic driven. Okay. So I'm going to come from the D's and C's, guys. I'm going to come to the D's and C's with a little bit more, trying to figure out how to make this screen smaller. There we go. Okay. For the D's and C's, I'm going to be more logic driven with my thinking process and with my choice of words. And with I's and S's, I'm going to be a little bit more feel oriented. But with
I believe, but is it in the colors? So it comes like, what do you think is the most valuable for you? They all go together, all four. It's just in order, which goes first, right?
No, it's not in any particular order.
I mean, if you do the test, then it's usually aligned in the order for everyone.
Yeah. So there's a primary and a secondary and under certain circumstances.
Okay.
And
Makes
look,
sense.
guys, this is just indication. This isn't like dictation as far as it being like hardcore on like, well, I'm an I, I'm a D, I'm an S. Look, it's not like that. It's just indicators to help what may be a tendency or a primary behavioral style based off of what's happening. We're talking about business right now because I act differently at home than I do at work because the dynamics are different. And I have to be a different person at work. Okay. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just saying these are just indicators for you to get an idea on personality style. Now look, DISC for worse personality styles. We actually use this as a role play tool, as a script almost, right? All right. So watch. Somebody give me an objection. Who wants to give me an objection? Raise your hand or say something. Objection.
I need to talk to my wife first.
Need to talk to your wife. Okay, good one. All right, so let's go D. Now watch, I'll do D and then I'll do S on how differently we could be responding to somebody who's a different personality type. Okay, Robert, you have to talk to your wife. I totally appreciate that. And I understand because, I would want to talk to my wife too before I made any decisions. And here's the deal. I mean, the bottom line is that you want to get a deal done. And I'll cut to the chase. I'll make sure that I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to shoot straight so you can make a quick decision when you're ready. And at the same time, I know you and your wife, as partners, you guys want to be on the same page. So why don't we do this? When are you guys usually home together? After 5 o'clock or after 6 o'clock? Break script.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
That's a way where we actually have a role play in our at the machine with the guys where when you close, this is your script. All right, now use these words to close. Robert, it's a real good tool to use with a team because they're not so confined to the script, which is not a bad thing, actually, by the way. The script is, if you get a good script down, just like actors in Hollywood, it doesn't sound like a script. Because people are like, I don't like the script. I don't like how it's said. Okay, listen, are you making money? No. So shut up and follow the script and start making some money. Okay, because you're not making money. So until you start making a lot of money, like follow the freaking script, because your script is not making you money. Because you have a script too. Your script just isn't executing at the level that you want. All right, there's my rant's over. Okay, so this is actually, we use this as a script to close, to be able to think on your feet and use personality profile words. All right, let's hear the difference, right, on using an S. So a D is think oriented. Okay, versus S, amiable, tribal, hates conflict. They're a feelsy, right? Robert, you need to talk to your wife before you set the appointment. And look, no problem. I totally appreciate that. And I know you need to feel comfortable before you move forward. And I understand that this is about making sure that you're on the same page before you move forward. So why don't we do this? Let's set a time that works for us both, as far as talking about a no hassle, an easy way to be able to get your property sold, and take a look at the options that both you and your wife want, but obviously you guys have to get on the same page about. So I don't mind coming by to just talk. You and your wife usually home together for a conversation to figure this out after 4 o'clock or after 6 o'clock. Break script. Differences here, big deals on connecting with people to set more appointments. Now we're using this right now in a prospecting format, but this is as effective and arguably more valuable when you're negotiating, or you're dealing with a problem on the transaction and you got to cool people out. Like, people start freaking out, right? Sellers start freaking out. Buyers start freaking out. Repeat, approve, move. Sellers start freaking out. Buyers start freaking out. Acknowledge personality types to help with alignment, to be able to create connection and ultimately get more deals closed. All right. Comments, questions, concerns on any.
Pauly? Hi, Pauly. It's Andy. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so my voice is off. But
no problem. I saw you're wearing your mask, so I appreciate that. You keep me from getting sick.
Thank you. Hey, so how can, in 3 or 4 words of listening to a person, I would detect which one they are? Like, if I detect it wrong, I'll be using the wrong word on them. That'll be a problem.
No, it's not a problem, Andy, because you guys are already doing it. It just helps, right? So the way that you're able to understand is this is an indicator right here, is knowing certain words that align with the personality type. And remember this too, fast and aggressive. People start talking fast and aggressive, probably D or I. They're going slower and a little bit more methodically, probably S or C. Combine that with their word selection, I could, like, within less than 30 seconds, I already know what personality style you are, probably, because there's exceptions, right? Like C's, just so you know, C's, I's are big, they're big talkers because they're so concerned about, like, expressing themselves, and it feels so good to talk about everything that's inside of them and how they feel and how wonderful everyone else must feel from their expression of their feelings. And now us D's are like gagging and we're like, shut up already, right? But the thing is, if you only went off of that and only through experience, some of the C's do that too. And you know why they do it? Because they love telling people how smart they are. You guys have had people like that. A lot of investors like that, right? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Oh, you're the smartest person on earth. They're doing it subconsciously, is that they need validation. And by communicating that knowledge, it helps validate the value of their knowledge. And then hence it's just this self-valuation that helps them. And so you get an understanding. The more you deal with this, the more easily it is to identify it. Okay, more questions, comments, concerns on this, or repeat, approve, move, or anything else on situations that you've had or objections that you want to talk about, or go ahead, open floor.
I think one of the things we run into a lot, and it's more, and I'll piggyback. I think Andrew said it, or James said it. It seems like when we finally can get an agent or broker on the phone, because we've been doing a lot of agent outreach, they just want to get off the phone as fast as they can. It's like they don't even want to talk about a deal. How do you deal with that? How do you kind of get them engaged to give you a little more time to discuss what's going on?
Yeah, agents, you said?
Agents or brokers, because we've been doing a lot more agent outreach.
Yeah.
Looking at old MLS deals.
Yeah,
and, if you can get them on the phone, which is the first problem, but once you do, they seem to be like, they want to give you 2 answers. Tell me about the property. Well, what do you want to know? They don't even attempt to give you anything. How do you kind of get through that?
Yeah. So this is, it was Olga, right? Olga said, I'm an introvert. It's a little harder to start conversations. This is where you got to step up and put your big boy or your big girl pants on. And like, look, the big money gets made by people who are ready to solve big problems. Okay. And if somebody's being a little bit tougher, then the way I'm going to make money is being able to connect with them. So a tool for that, Robert, immediately is called pacing and leading. And pacing and leading is like somebody is a certain emotion, right? They're, what's it called? They're aloof, right? They're like not too comfortable in sharing, or they're just holding back on purpose, right? Aloofness, right? They're not really sharing that much. Or they're aggressive, or their tone is fast. Okay. So now we'll talk specifically about somebody going, hey, well, what do you want to know? Immediately, somebody talking like that probably is talking at a greater speed of rate. False or true, Robert? Right? Okay. So if they're talking faster, guess what? Start talking faster. If they're a little aggressive, get a little aggressive. Now, Robert, you've probably experienced this and probably have had some good experience with this because you're a D, I think, right?
Yeah. Sometimes if I mirror them, sometimes I can get them to slow down and actually engage. Sometimes they don't want to talk.
So, look, it's not a magic trick where you're going to get people to do what you want all the time, but certainly it can help enhance and increase the level of connections or increase the amount of connections. So if somebody's talking fast and somebody's being aggressive, guess what? I'm going to pace them with talking faster and talking a little bit more aggressive. Because high D's, by the way, the reason we do that is because we don't feel that you're at our level, at whatever level that is. I won't even get into that psychologically, right? But like, we don't think you're on our level. So once you push back and you start getting a little aggressive, high D's actually appreciate that. Robert? Yeah. You amiables are like, what? Are you guys psychotic? Or what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Just be nice. No, these aren't like that, man. These are fast and aggressive. They're look, time sensitive, direct and forceful. So guess what? If you're not fast and forceful, we think you're weak and you're probably not worth our time. Look, heads are nodding right now. Yeah. So guess what? Timberly, when they start getting aggressive, get a little aggressive. They're already there. They're already there. Like, get there. Right. So I got to figure out like where they're at, Robert, and then use that to be able to prompt. One other tool I'll give you for that is sometimes if they're upset or if they're frustrated, be upset and frustrated with them. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars calling expireds and withdrawals by getting upset with the expireds and withdrawals. Oh my gosh, I've had all these realtors calling me and I go, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Those realtors are terrible. Oh my, I would be so frustrated. I can't believe that they're doing that to you. So did you get any offers? And guess what? They answer. And I've had hundreds of calls go from completely cold to completely warm or appointment. Because I get frustrated with them, Robert. I be in the moment with them on their emotion. And if they're frustrated or upset, then I'm going to get a little frustrated or upset too. With them, not at them. With them, not at them. Because when you do it with them, it's this unconscious energy of you get it. You respect me. And then you're able to move on. Okay. I'll go a little long here. Comments, questions, concerns.
Oh, this is a little bit of a tangent, but in terms of like strategies, you just like explained one, expired, withdrawn. For someone who doesn't have MLS access, like what strategy do you recommend just like getting the ball rolling with? Do you think it's calling realtors? Do you think it's, residential realtors because maybe they don't know what they have in terms of a commercial deal? Is it, asking someone with access to CoStar, Reonomy to, call through that.
What kind of, start from the beginning, what kind of deals are you looking for?
So that I need to obviously identify first, but, mobile home parks, RV parks would be ideal, right? Lower cost per door, if you will, or slot, or multifamily.
So I'm still unclear. The question is like, where should I start?
Yeah, like where should you start in terms of like generating these conversations? Should I go after, withdrawn, expired, for sale by owner? Should I call real estate agents? Should I call direct seller and like ask someone for a list?
Yeah. What do you want? You want listings or you want off market deals?
Off market.
Off market deals. Okay. So here's the deal. Leads are everywhere. And here's the deal. All forms of lead generation work. And then here's the deal. What is important is your consistency with those forms, with those resources. So here's what you do when you're newer. A table stands on 4 legs. It could stand on 3. It's a little stronger on 4. Okay. Pick 3 to 4, not more forms of lead generation. Okay. And then go effing hammer them. Like go ape shit with them. Like go knock foreclosures. Go call expired withdrawals. We do a lot of non-owner occupieds and commercial, and non-owner occupieds are great business, man. There's so many of them. There are tens of thousands of them. Non-owner occupieds, absentee homeowners. That's what they call it in the softwares, right? Absentee homeowners. You need to pick like 3 or 4, and whatever those 3 or 4 are, just go at them heavy. But I would say this, every business, Matt's a great example of this, man. Every business, even in the investment world, is rooted in your relationships. So all that cold stuff is very, very important when you're new, because you don't got shit and you need to get going. Okay. And you need more conversations, and you can only talk to the people that you know, or you can only network so fast. You should be doing that, and I'll get to that in a second. But if you really want to fly, you got to get your ass busy with talking to strangers and figuring out how you're going to make those connections sooner, faster, more often. Timberly, you're kicking ass with that. Great job. That's awesome. Okay. Now, James, the importance of your sphere is like, all right, how do I need to organize my sphere? I need to create a system with interacting them. And I'm not talking about stupid emails or texts. I'm talking about ring, James, what's up? What's going on? The playbook has a method as far as like staying in touch with your sphere, because your sphere has deals, and you should be networking realtors, because realtors don't know what the God green earth, what to do with off-market properties.
Yeah.
All right. So realtors are an asset to you, right? So you should be networking realtors. So your sphere, realtors, and then I'll tell you what also works really, really well for us is social media networking. We get into these groups, man, and we just start talking to people. What's going on? What are you doing? We have a script for that, by the way. If you want it, I'll give it to you because you're in the community.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give it
Where's
to you.
the playbook, by the way, too?
The playbook, email me, Pauly, Pauly, at trehomes.com, Pauly at trehomes.com. Okay. And ask me what you want. I'll send you the playbook, but the playbook does not have the social media. I actually have a text script our VAs use, right? And it works freaking magic. Okay. And I have a qualifier script that's not in the playbook that we use for every single lead on extracting data to figure out what's going on and understanding motivation, which is a whole nother session. How well do you really understand motivation? Because it is, even on my own team where I'm beating into their skull on a weekly basis, motivation. They get off the call, I'm like, hey, what's going on? 1, 2 questions in, like you should be able to go 3 or 4 levels deep on motivation. They're moving to Florida. So what? To be near mom. So what? What does that mean? Like, what's important about that? Because and I'll finish it here, is every person makes a decision to meet you for an appointment or to sign a contract with you based off of an emotional feeling. 100%. The logic just executes what the emotion's feeling. So you guys got to tap into like what's going on with these deals, because some of you guys are coming to us with deals, not on this call, right? And you're going like, hey, this is going on, that's going on. Look, we don't give a shit. We don't care. You know what we care about? Why are they selling? What's important about that? What does that do for them? What's the biggest benefit of that? We care about the motivation and your ability. I've given you specific tools to use, repeat, approve, move, DISC profiles, to be able to connect with people better, to get better answers more often, to increase your conversion. That's why we're here today. We're here to talk about tools to be able to convert more leads and do more business. And if you utilize these and you practice them, you're going to see more results. So you got to pick, James. You got to pick what you're going to go after and then just go balls out on that. Just those 3 things, 4 things. Okay.
The man, Pauly. Thank you.
Email me. I didn't do think feel because we didn't have enough time. There's too much to go over. I got to make it smaller chunks for you guys, but there's plenty to do. And I'm happy to do this for the community because I want you guys to find more deals, because I want you to connect with more people, because I want you to be more efficient, because I know when you win, we win. All right. And I know that you can go fast alone, but you can go a lot further with others. Old African proverb, right? Like, this is about helping people. You help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything in life that you want. Zig Ziglar, baby. You don't know who he is. See You at the Top. One of the best books ever written. Okay. Hey, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go love on people. And there's only one question I didn't answer, which was vetting questionable information. Honestly, James, that was James, right? Yeah. James, that was your question, right?
Which one?
Vetting questionable information.
Yes,
People,
yes.
right. They don't really give you the information. The best way to get that is repeat, approve, move.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you vague answers, or they don't answer the answer. Repeat, approve at a high level with that appreciation. Oh, I appreciate that because I understand because, and then all of a sudden you keep knocking on the egg, and then all of a sudden crack. And it opens because they feel respected, because they feel heard, because they feel approved, because they feel loved. All right. That's a good place to end it. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go kick some ass. Have some great conversations. See you on the flip side.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Pauly.
Thank you.
Thank you.